Hi, everyone. Welcome to the AAPI Strong Small Business Grants Q&A. As you are coming in, feel free to put in the chat what city you're calling in from and listening to. We would love to see where our viewers are coming in from. My name is Emily Feuder, and I'm the Director of Marketing with National ACE. And I guess we can just get started. So the AAPI Strong Small Business Grants are currently open for application, and this grant was designed for AAPI business owners who recovered and emerged out of the pandemic. So we recognize the power of AAPI entrepreneurs, and we've partnered with Reimagine Main Street, Meta, and other community small business organizations to provide these grants to help our AAPI entrepreneurs. This grant is going to offer 100 monetary grants to AAPI-owned small businesses. It is a nationwide program, and it's made possible through Reimagine Main Street and supported by Meta. You can also learn more at aapistrong.com/small business grants. So these 100 small businesses will be awarded grants ranging from $10,000 to $50,000. And $25,000 awards will go to 60 businesses that made it through. So those are the businesses that launched prior to January 1st, 2020, and they have a revenue of at least $100,000 in each calendar year, 2019, 2020, and 2021. And then the $10,000 grant awards are going to the 40 businesses that launched during the COVID-19 pandemic. So those are for businesses that started after January 1st, 2020, and they had to have started at least by December 31st, 2021. So for those, you have to have an average monthly revenue of at least $1,000 since the launch. We can also talk about specific start dates, incorporation dates, when you kind of started your actual operations. That's what this is for. So ask us your questions if you have them and you feel like, I feel like I'm eligible, but I just want to check. That's what this is for. So we are here to help you. So the eligibility is the business must be AAPI owned 50% or more. It needs to be based and operating in the United States. You need to currently be in operation. You also need to be legal and for profit. So this is not an opportunity for nonprofit organizations. And then, as I said prior, the businesses that launched prior to January 2020, you will need to show that you had revenue of at least $100,000 in each calendar year, 2019, 2020, and 2021. And then for businesses that launched on or after January 1st, you need to, or by at least December 31st, then you need to show your revenue of at least $1,000 since your launch. And you also need to be able to document that revenue. So we will not just be taking your word for it. We will need to see profit and loss statements for 2021 and 22, your certificate of good standing, and then there's also some photo requirements and your state ID. Deadlines. So applications are open. We already have lots of submissions. It opened on July 11th, and they will close at midnight on July 26th. That is a firm deadline. So please make sure you have all of your documents in order and you are ready to go. Winners will be announced in September. Okay, so we can kind of get into the do's and don'ts here. When you're filling out your application, try to share your story in a compelling way. You want to go into detail, have a plan for your future, tie in how you help your community. And then also just technically, make sure you upload the correct documents. There's going to be lots of applications. We want to make sure that the ones that you submit are complete and can actually be evaluated because you did it correctly. You also should claim your business online and manage your reviews. There will be a vetting process where we are checking our finalists for how they look online, on Yelp and on Google. So if you have no idea what's going on there, you need to go in there probably today, and we'll kind of show you how to do that to make sure that you're managing your business. And then another thing is add submittable to your trusted contacts in your email. So if our team has a question, we're going to send you a message through submittable. And if you have them blocked or they're going to your spam, you might miss those messages. And that could, in the end, disqualify you. Let's say you had a document where we had a question. If we don't hear back from you, we won't continue to consider you. And then some don'ts. Don't get too ambitious about how your funds can be used. We know that these grants are exciting and impactful, but they won't be able to make every single change that you want to make to your business. So be realistic. Don't ignore your Google and Yelp reviews. Your online presence does matter for this opportunity. In the same vein, if you are responding to your reviews, don't post inflammatory language on your business account. You need to be professional. We will be checking. Make sure that you upload the correct documents, so don't upload the incorrect ones. And then please don't ignore our emails. We are emailing you because we want to continue to consider you. We may have a question or we need a little bit more detail. Here's an example question from the application. What are your goals and aspirations for the next 12 months? So of course, you're filling out this application, you're busy, we understand that you are running a business, but please refrain from just one sentence answers. We really want a compelling narrative. We want to hear your story. We want to hear detail. We want to see that you have a plan. And also ask a friend to proofread it for you. If you're unsure of how it sounds or if it makes sense, just have a friend or a family member come over your shoulder, look at your application. In Submittable, you can save your draft and come back to it. So please don't rush. Fill it out completely, be detailed. The vague and general responses, that's not going to push your application to the top. We really want to see you answer every question seriously and with detail. I'm actually going to move it over to my colleague, Young Tran. She'll help you understand how to claim your business on Google. This will matter if you haven't done it yet. So Young, go ahead.
Thank you, Emily. Hi, everybody. My name is Young Tran. I'm the program associate at National ACE. I'm here to help you claim your business on Google. So sometimes Google already has a business profile for you, and they'll have this little button that pops up that says, do you own this business? If you click on that, you can go into the business backend and verify that you own the business. If they don't already have a business profile created, then you can create one yourself. Emily, can you go to the next slide? So this is how you create one yourself. You go to google.com/business, sign into Google, enter the name of your business, the category, enter your business address. PO boxes are not allowed. Home address are not recommended unless you want someone knocking at your front door. Definitely you need a physical location to have a business profile because this will be on Google Maps. Add your phone number, your website. Once you've done all the initial details, they'll send you a verification postcard where it'll send you to your physical location. You receive that postcard, you open it, and then you complete the next verification steps, and then you'll be able to access your profile. Next. Now, let's talk about managing reviews. Once your business profile is verified, you can publicly respond to customer reviews left on Google. We're going to go over a couple of tips. One, be professional, polite, respond promptly within 24 hours or as soon as you can. Don't use this opportunity to advertise products, just focus on the customer and responding to the customer. Make sure you thank the happy customers. Make sure you address any negative reviews privately. A lot of business owners have asked, can I remove negative reviews? No, unfortunately you can't, but you can ask them, hey, let's speak offline. Here's my email, here's my phone number. And once that issue is resolved, you can request them to remove it themselves. And that is all. Back to the Q&A. We have a question for Emily. How do you get a certification of good standing?
That's a good one. So it depends on the state that you are in. Every single state has their own rules regarding how a business owner can obtain a letter of good standing. Looking at the websites can be overwhelming, but there are some companies that you can use. There's a small fee, but they'll help you understand all the rules for your specific state. Or if you, I believe there's actually an article as well on Forbes, so I can post that in the chat, and it shows each state kind of how you get that, because it really depends.
Thank you, Emily. As we're waiting for more questions to come in, I'm gonna just start asking you questions, okay?
Sounds
And
good.
so let's say I own several franchisees. Should each location apply separately?
No. So this is actually one of the first opportunities that we've done with National ACE where franchises can apply. We only want you to fill out one application for all of the locations. Otherwise, it'll be flagged as a duplicate and it would be thrown out. So we want to make sure that you are considered. So let's say you have 3 ice cream shops, bundle it into the one application. If you have questions on that, you can of course send us an email at info@nationalace.org. But there should be enough room for you to talk about all of the franchises in the same application. And then I do see another question that came in. Larry, you're asking, you have a food brand that sells at a brick and mortar retail. You don't even need to have a physical address visible on Google since it's your home address. Are we able to apply? Yes, you are able to apply. The main thing is if you have a business listed on Google Maps and people are giving you reviews, as a business owner, we expect you to respond to those professionally and manage that. So we were just kind of walking you through how to do that if you do have that brick and mortar actual walk-up space. Larry, I guess my question back to you would be, do people actually walk up and buy your products from your location, or are you selling those within grocery stores? Because if you do have a location, having your location on the map helps people find you, and then you can update your hours as well. Another thing is, let's say you are listed on Google or on Yelp, but it's listed as saying, oh, it's permanently closed. You need to go in, claim the business, and then update it and show that you're currently operating, because that is in the eligibility. So if you are listed as permanently closed online, you need to do everything in your power to turn that back to, we are operating, here are the hours. Because again, our team is checking the eligibility. If you say you're operating and online says otherwise, we're going to go with what online says too. And another question, if we are an online business with no physical location, is that okay? Yes, that is totally okay. We would love to see you apply. But if you do have anywhere online that has reviews, Yelp, Google, even TripAdvisor, just make sure that you're managing them. That's kind of what we're explaining, that you have a professional presence online. And also your social media accounts. If people are commenting on there, or make sure that you remain professional in your responses. We wouldn't want you to get weeded out for that. Another question that did come in earlier today was, I started my business in March of 2020, but I didn't hit the revenue amounts for that. So can I be considered for the 2021 I started my business in March 2020, but I didn't hit the revenue requirements. Can I still be considered, even though I hit the 1,000 a month? And unfortunately, we are being pretty strict in terms of those eligibility criteria. It's just so that we can have a framework to pick the winners. We would love for absolutely everyone to get a grant, but there do have to be some stricter qualifications. So those revenue requirements are, they can be an average. We understand that there are seasonal businesses that operate. So maybe your summer is booming and your winter is very quiet. We want you to, share that in your narrative, explain why your revenue might not be hitting exactly the requirement. If it is very close, as long as it's an average, we're okay with that. Don't let that deter you. Just doing a shout out to all of my ice cream shop owners right now. And then, is a LinkedIn company page okay? Yes, that is okay. You may, as long as you're managing it and it's updated, go for it. There is a place as well to put in those links, so please include those. Another question was, can we use a bank account statement as the revenue evidence? Yes, that's okay. The main thing is we don't want any handwritten uploads. So please make sure that they are all actual documents. A handwritten document will not be accepted. That also goes for your profit and loss. We also did get a question if this opportunity was open to the territories. And unfortunately, this opportunity is only for the US, the 50 states, and Washington, DC. Another question, can we have Yelp and Google account? Okay, can we not have a Yelp and Google account, only LinkedIn and Google account? Yes, we're not going to disqualify you if you're not on Yelp. Don't worry. It's only if you're on there. You might, and also let me say, you might be on there and you don't know. Someone could have posted about your restaurant in there and you could have a ton of reviews or your business. And if you had no idea that that's there, that's a bad thing. Please go in and check if someone else has posted and started to review your business. Because if we can see it, then it's there and it counts. It could count for you or against you. So just make sure that your online presence is cleaned up in general, because it's not totally an eligibility requirement, but it is something we are using for the reviews. I don't see any quote. Oh, another one's coming in. Okay. We are an online education company. We only use Facebook and LinkedIn, no Google and Yelp. Yes, that's fine. And actually we understand that some businesses actually will have no online presence. It's better if you do, because that helps us, understand who you are, what you're doing, kind of back up your application. But if you exist somewhere on there, that's fine. Just make sure that you're managing that Facebook account. If you have promotions, keep putting them on there. We like to see your story, and also we like to connect with you. So if you're including your social media links, we want to try and follow you. We want to support your business endeavor and stay connected to you beyond this grant opportunity. Should we include customer video testimonials? That was a question that came in. I like that question a lot, but we don't have the spot for it. So the sample application is currently on AAPIStrong.com, and I will actually show you what that looks like really quick here. So you can see all of the uploads required even before you make an account. Let me share here. Okay. So you can see the website as soon as you type in AAPIStrong.com/100 small business grants. There's the link to apply, and then you scroll down and here's the sample application. So on the application, it has all of the upload requirements, and we do want a photo of the small business owner, preferably in your small business. So let's say you have a retail shop, but it's only online, and you're making t-shirts out of your kitchen. We would love to see a photo of you making t-shirts out of your kitchen. It just helps kind of bring the story all together. This is online for anyone to see. So if you have not seen this yet, please look at the sample on our website. You also will see this through Submittable. So the $100,000 revenue per year question, someone just asked about the eligibility. So the $1,000 per month eligibility is actually just for businesses that launched after January 1st. So there are different revenue requirements based on when your business started. So you can kind of see me highlighting here when your business had to have started and how much the revenue needs to be based on that start date. And then going back to the application, you can see that if you're self-employed or a sole proprietor, this application, if you click yes or no, more questions will kind of pop up. So let's say you say yes here, then you actually would not need to upload a certificate of good standing. So it's not required for absolutely every applicant, and you are not going to be penalized for being self-employed or a sole proprietor. We will just ask you to tell us what is the legal form of your business. And again, if you have the necessary licenses, you are eligible. Please don't lie to us. And then this is where we want you to get creative. When we say, tell us about you and your business, You have 500 words. Feel free to use them. The richer you are in that language and that narrative, the more we understand who you are, what your business is doing, and if you meet the criteria and you're a match for one of these grants. Okay. And then we do want you to get in detail as well on how COVID impacted your business, good or bad. We know that some industries actually started to grow because of COVID. If you made a business pivot, let's say you're a cookie shop that supplied to caterers. Okay, now there's no catering. What are you going to do? So tell us your story here of how COVID impacted your business, what you did to survive, because these grants are for the businesses that either launched during the pandemic and made it through, or these resilient ones that have been around for longer as well. And then as you scroll down, there's a couple more attachments at the bottom. And then also tell us how you learned about the grant and what you would do with the funds here. Someone asked, is a Stripe 1099 good enough as revenue proof? Feel free to upload that, yes. We also do want to see a profit and loss document. So make sure you're uploading both. Revenue alone is not the only requirement. There are a couple other attachments that we will need. Any other questions? Just feel free to put in the chat. I'm also going to hop over to our Facebook and see if there's any on there.
Hi, Emily. If I win, what are my obligations? Do I have to pay it back? Like, what does that look like?
That is a good one. So this is a grant. It is not a loan. So you do not need to pay us back. You do need to claim it on your taxes, and you are responsible for understanding the tax laws in your state. But this is a cash grant. You will receive the funds and you need to use them for your business. And then you will also need to provide a report after 6 months just telling us how it's going. But no, you do not need to pay us back. A question that came in now, if we are not profitable now, is it okay? So that's a good question, because the requirement is that you show revenue, and that's not entirely the same as your profit or your takeaway check, right? So if you're getting $1,000 a month in sales, but it costs you $1,000 to make everything, you're still getting that $1,000 revenue. So we just need you to show us that. And we are asking for a couple of calendar years to show just how the business is doing. It's based on the start of your business, how many documents you're going to need to upload. And then for profit and loss, does it need to be typed up, or do we need to obtain one professionally? Ideally, you would use your accountant or however you have been keeping your books. It does need to be typed no matter what. We are not accepting handwritten profit and loss. But if you have that revenue document to prove, and then profit and loss uploaded we're not requiring that you hire someone to write it for you, but it does need to be professional looking. So please don't just upload a Word document with a couple numbers on it. We do want to see some detail. These are good questions. I am going over to the Facebook, and I think we are okay. If there are no other questions, we will probably wrap early. We may do another one of these in next week if there's more questions after applications have been started to be filled in, but we are accepting 10,000 applications. So don't feel like you need to rush to be considered. You have a little bit of time. Just make sure that you do hit submit, because if you do not submit, we will never see your application. So thank you again for joining us, everyone, and have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday.